Coverage you can count on. This is KCBD News Channel 11 at 5.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. A Lubbock defendant is going to prison after he admitted to ambushing and shooting a man multiple times 2 years ago.
33-year-old Tony Thomas pleaded guilty to the murder of Jose Gonzalez. He was killed in April 2024. That's when Thomas and 20-year-old Leroy Trevino both admitted to shooting him multiple times at the Executive Inn near 44th Street and Avenue Q. When investigators responded to the motel on the evening of April 13th, they found 34-year-old Jose Gonzalez seriously injured. First responders rushed him to the hospital where he later died. And the days after the murder, Lubbock homicide detectives and the Lubbock, Texas anti-gang unit tracked Thomas down in Fort Worth.
Trevino is currently serving time for his role in the murder. Judge Trey McClendon ordered him to 25 years in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice at the end of last month. Today, the honorable judge handed down a 30-year sentence to Thomas. Now, in a court filing, Gonzalez's widow said it's, quote, nowhere near enough time to spend in prison for the cold-blooded murder of another human being. She says she and her son were robbed of experiencing life with him.